Hello and welcome to a demonstration of StarfishETL Essentials HubSpot and Creatio integration. Today I'll be showing a brief demonstration of how our contacts flow between HubSpot and Creatio, and a little demonstration of the StarfishETL platform itself and how everything kind of works behind the scenes to keep things in sync. I have open here a window for HubSpot. It's just a demo system, a few contacts in it, and another window here with a demo system for Creatio. And here I also have Starfish ETL running. Starfish is designed to move contacts from HubSpot into Creatio based on the status of the contact itself. So if I go into Bob Ross here, we see Bob is a new lead status. In Starfish, I'm going to jump into this job here and show you how this is set up briefly. I'm going to go through and walk through everything much slower in a moment, but just to show you, we are pulling from contacts where the life cycle stage equals marketing qualified lead. So over here, we have this guy is set as a new and his stage is set to marketing qualified lead. So if he goes from, say, lead status then to marketing qualified lead, then at that point he'll be triggered to go to the Creatio system. In Creatio, contact from HubSpot can end up in one of two places. Either he can come over as a lead inside of Creatio or a contact. And we have some decision making built into Starfish to determine where he goes. So I will walk you through some of the stuff that's in Starfish, and then I'll walk through how that lead actually flows. So starting with the project we're on Essentials, HubSpot, and Creatio, and within there we have a number of jobs. We move contacts, we move history and email type information between the two, and we go back in the other direction too, from HubSpot to Creatio and also from Creatio back into HubSpot. We also can move over opportunity information and notes and other things like that. I'm just going to spend today looking at the contact job. So you see we're reading in this case from HubSpot, that's our origin, and then we're writing to our destination, which is Creatio. Then we have this decision-making process, which determines whether it becomes a contact or a lead. And then we have the stages for those two portions. So we have either a contact update. So it's going to look to see if that contact already exists based on the email address in Creatio. And if that contact is there, then it's going to update it. If it doesn't find it in the contact, it's going to then go and check the leads area. And so if it finds the record there as a lead, it is going to update it. If it doesn't find it, then it will create a brand new lead. So that's where it gets created for the first time. It's going to end up as a lead. The purpose behind this is then if you use the qualification process that's built into Creatio, moving from a lead into a contact, then Starfish will know how to keep a record in synced even once it's been qualified from a lead to a contact. So moving on here to origin, I already briefly showed you this, but this is our connection to HubSpot in this case. We're reading from the contacts table where the lifecycle stage equals marketing qualified lead. Now, in your particular environments, this logic can be adjusted to fit your needs, but this is the way it comes out of the box. And then we have the destination. So this is our connection to Creatio. This is where we're writing data. Not much to it, just select the connection and that's all you need to do. I guess while we're talking about connections, I'm going to jump over here to show you how those are set up and configured in Starfish. So first you have HubSpot. This is what's called an OAuth connection. So you see we're talking to the HubSpot connection type. We have many different types of connections in Starfish, just different types of systems you can work with. Here we have chosen HubSpot. And all you have to do is click this Authenticate Now button. And what's it's going to do is redirect us out to HubSpot. I'm already logged in here to HubSpot, so I'm going to choose the account I want to sync with. This is my dev account just for demonstration purposes. And it's just saying it's connecting Starfish now, and then it redirects us back into Starfish. So now I can click on HubSpot and I see I have an access token, everything's set up and ready to go. I can hit test and everything's working. Creatio is a little different in that all we need for that is the username, password, and the URL to our Creatio environment. In this case, just a demo environment that I'm using. With that in there, I can hit test connection and see that that's working. Okay, I'm going to jump back to our job. And we went over origin and destination. I'm going to talk about the mappings. So this is where all the actual logic occurs. This is where the mapping is done and everything. So the first thing it does is performs that decision-making process I was talking about. And in Starfish, it's configured as a C# procedure, so it's done with a little bit of scripting. There are a lot of things we can do in Starfish without scripting. However, some of this is a little more complicated, so it's much easier to do it through a few lines of code like this. So what you see it's doing though is it's grabbing the email address from the contact. It's then looking in the contact table of Creatio to see if that record exists, and then it looks in the lead table down here. And so once it makes that decision, it's going to either tell it to run this stage, the contact stage, or the lead stage. You see the contact stage is defined as just an update. And the lead stage, though, is configured as an update insert, which is probably most common for integration. It's going to check to see if a record exists. If it doesn't, then it's going to create a new one. But if it was there already, it's going to update the existing one. So we say it's writing to the lead table in Creatio. And then I can show you some of the mappings that are developed in here. So this is the one where it's writing to an existing contact. The mappings between the two stages look really similar. So we've got job title to job title, phone number to phone number. We see this works kind of like mapping fields. It's just a drop down here. So I'm choosing the field on this side is HubSpot, and on this side is the Creatio field. You can do other things like hard-coded values. So if you wanted to just say this is always this value, you can just write that in there. You can perform lookups or do scripting and all kinds of other functions built into Starfish for migrating your data or to fit the transformation that you need to and so forth. So that's contact, and then lead is very much the same. In this case, we have a few fields checked as insert only. So what that means is these fields are not going to move over in the case that that record already exists. It's only going to move over if that's a new record being created inside of Creatio. So that is that's useful for if you don't want to overwrite certain fields. Once they've been moved into Creatio, now that's, I'm managing these fields in Creatio, I don't want anything to be overwritten back from HubSpot. So you say that that's an insert only field. And then we also have a field here that's defined as the match. In this case, it's the email address. That's kind of what defines how we look for an existing record on either side is based on the email address. So we've got that one defined as a match column. So I believe I left Bob Ross as a marketing qualified lead. So if I come over here to preview, I'm going to preview the first row, and I should just have that one record available to me as a marketing qualified lead from HubSpot. And what it's going to do is show me the data from my origin, HubSpot. And then it's going to process all of my rules and scripts and so forth and show me the record over here as it's going to then appear inside of Creatio. Now, typically, this would all be running on a schedule. I'm going to jump over here and show you that you can have a schedule set to run every interval. So based on how often I want it to run, every 30 minutes, every 2 hours, whatever you want it to set up, however often you want it to run. Right now, I have the schedule turned off. And that's so that I'm just going to run these jobs manually here just for the purposes of moving quickly through this demonstration. But if you had it set up to run, every hour or something like that, this would be syncing on that basis. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and hit run job on this. So I have Bob Ross over here on the HubSpot side, and in Creatio, it should come in as a lead. So you see it's processed one row and it performed one insert. So now if I come over here to leads, I should have Bob. Yeah, there he is, Bob Ross. He came over. He has, let's see, probably have to put in a required field here. And there we go. So, that's Bob now as a lead. Now, one of the things we could do here is qualify him. So I'm going to move him in over as a contact. So now he's been qualified and has moved now to a contact inside of Creatio. So if I go to his contact record, I see everything came over. This is just normal Creatio behavior. But now once I have, say, a change in HubSpot, say, we changed his job description. So he's a painter. Let's say he's been upgraded now to a director. So he has a new job title. Now when Starfish runs, it's going to know that record is actually a contact now, not just a lead. And so this time we see there were two updates, one for the lead record and one for the actual contact record. And so if I sync, or if I refresh this window here, now you'll see that change came over. So these changes can be configured to move in both directions, back from Creatio to HubSpot. They can be set up to run on any table, even if you have custom fields and so forth, we can do those as well. So I know this has been brief, but if you have any additional questions on Starfish or its capabilities or what comes in the essentials map or what could be added to it, feel free to reach out. Thank you very much.